Well, that's Friday night here on Box Nation. Coming up after the break, I talked to her, Natasha Jonas. The weekend, the Women's World Amateur Championships finished in China. OK, now, at these championships, it was the only way that the world's elite women boxers could qualify for this summer's Olympics. And remember, of the 10 women's weights that are out there, only 3 are going to be allowed into the Olympics. The first time that women's boxing has been part of the programme at the Olympics. It's monumental. And we sent off, or GB Boxing, Great Britain Boxing, sent off 3 women to compete at the World Championships in an attempt to qualify for the Olympics. And we're not just quite good at this women's amateur boxing caper, we're one of the best, because after all of the boxing had taken place at the 3 weights, we've qualified all 3 of our women. Now, only one other country, that's Russia, and they're the leaders, qualified all 3 of their women. We've got Nicola Adams there at flyweight. We've got Savannah Marshall there at middleweight. She actually won the world title, beating the American girl along the way, Clarissa something or other, who the Americans, Andre Dirrell, was raving about. Savannah stood her on her head. It was beautiful to watch, beautiful to behold. And the 3rd member of the team is a woman that I first started interviewing about 3 years ago on BBC London, when she was a real Olympic wannabe. Well, she's not a wannabe anymore. She is an Olympian. Now, earlier on, I managed to persuade Natasha Jonas to travel down from Liverpool less than 12 hours after getting off a plane back from China. But she had to go somewhere else this evening, so I had to interview her a bit earlier. And she was sitting right there on that sofa. And the first question I asked her was, has it started to sink in yet, the fact that you are now an Olympian?
Oh, I've been thinking about it. I had a bit of a surprise when I got to the airport yesterday. You know, my family was there, and that was a bit surreal, because there was other people that had joined the crowd to wait and see who this Natasha was. So
just the crowd was growing.
Yeah, the crowd was growing. There was family, and I was like, oh, we've got a big family anyway. So I was like, I was hugging and kissing people, and there was people that I didn't know, and I was like, well, are these family? And I was hugging them anyway, and I was like, thank you. Didn't know who it was, but yeah, it's a dream come true, isn't it?
So it is starting to sink in.
Yeah,
it won't be easy, though, will it? It won't be easy for it to sink in.
Oh no, I think my family will always keep me grounded anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'll always be the same.
It's not a case of keeping grounded. The bottom line is now that you're going to become, as one of the 3 women, one of the first 3 women to take part, at boxing in the Olympics. You're going to become famous just because of that. So it's really going to be difficult. People are going to be dragging you for a bit of this and a bit of that.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
That's the medal you got out in China at the World Championships. Can you hold it up for the camera? Just look straight into that number 2 there.
Cool.
Now that goes with your European, goes with all your other international medals.
Yeah, I'm working my way up. The European was bronze, this was bronze, but, you know, working my way up to gold for the...
Gold at the Olympics. You know, when I saw those results, obviously great for Nicola getting to the final, losing to the Chinese girl again. She's beaten her, I know. And fantastic for Savannah. She's just having a romp up there at 75, isn't she? She's winning for fun. And then, of course, you're in a weight where you've got, I mean, let's be honest, there's 2 really good competitors. There's the Russian girl, Sophia, and then there's also Katie Taylor, who won, her 4th title at the weekend. Now, you've been in with them, and it's not like, say, with Usain Bolt, the sprinter. They're within distance of you. You can reach them, can't you? You can overtake them, can't you?
Definitely, boxing's one of them sports where, anything can happen and one punch can change everything. And, even just against the Indian that I fought, and I was 1 or 2 points behind going into the last round, and I won the bout by 2-3 points. So anything can happen, and that's what I love about boxing. It's not like a time that I have to get or a distance where I have to throw. Anything can happen, and yeah, I mean, there was a time maybe a couple of years ago when I first started on the international scene, and I used to watch people like Katie and like Sophie and be in absolute awe and think, wow, they're just so far away. And now, I'm there competing with them, and I think, I'm just that much off.
Just that little bit extra.
Yeah. So just a little bit more work, and obviously, and get and just I'll be there and ready for the Olympics.
With the fans and your growing army of family from the airport on your arrival home, that will give you a bit. Do you feel that will give you a bit extra coming out in front of, instead of, you know, a few hundred people, you know, in Rotterdam, or a few hundred people somewhere in the middle of nowhere in China by the sand dunes? Suddenly you're going to come out at the XL with what, 11,000 people. That's got to give you a bit of an extra thing, hasn't it, Tash?
When we was in the test event,
of course, you boxed brilliantly there, by the way.
There was only, like, I think 200 people, or maybe spectating, and a couple of schools in, and even that just, like, blew me away. And, like, I was so proud when we got my medal, and I was running up to the school kids and stuff. So yeah, but to do that in front of, as you say, a home crowd, and have all your family there and friends there watching, and actually people cheering for you, instead of, like, when you go away to a different country and everyone's, like, booing you. You've got your 10 teammates just clapping and
it's very
wishing you
different,
to do well. Yeah, so yeah.
If you're lucky to have 10 teammates, sometimes only 4 of you. Don't make much of an impression. Now, what do you know? Have you had a look at a list of schedule and itinerary between now and the Olympics? I know that you go away on a lot of training camps. Do you know what's coming up between now and when you move into the athletes' village? You know what's coming up?
Right at this moment, I don't. We've got a little ideas, and people have been telling us little bits and bobs, but I'm sure when we go back, because we've got a week off,
sure,
as soon as we go back on the week after the week off, then they'll give us the rundown of what's expected of
now,
us.
when you get back after this few days off, and by the way, she's really watching her diet. We've offered her all sorts of lovely food, and she said no to all of it. Let me just point that out. When you get back after this week off, Tash, you're really going to be gone till just about the Olympics, really, aren't you? I mean, I wouldn't have thought you'd get more than 3 or 4 weekends at home between now and the games.
Well, we've worked out, I think there's 9 weeks to the games when we get back. So yeah, the training camps are usually Monday to Thursday. I think they're going to do some Monday to Friday. That's, like, one of the things that they've mentioned. But as I say, we'll find out when we get back and see what's in store for us.
Listen, I'm excited for you, because I know that, you know, I've spoken to you for a good few years now on different things, and had you on different programmes and talked to you, and it's always been, you know, your goal's always been the Olympics, but, you know, sometimes you've not fought at the right way, and then sometimes you've not been sent to major tournaments, and I've been a bit concerned, but you're finally there, and that's absolutely brilliant. How many times have you been overseas to box, or have you boxed in this country, international level, in that last, say, 3-year period, Tash? Do you know? I mean, what is it? Is it 15? Is it 30?
It's a lot. I think I've had close to 100 bouts now, and I think I've only had, I think, 15 for my club, so all the rest have been international.
At international level,
yeah,
going overseas.
Yeah, that's big. It's big for me. Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but Anthony Ogogo, you know, who qualified at middleweight. Now, I don't think you have seen it, because you've obviously been in China on this massive journey. It took you forever to get back. I appreciate that. Unlike some people who couldn't be bothered to get out of bed and drive just a short distance to the studio. That's neither here nor there. Now, Anthony Ogogo has managed to get a deal with Subway, and he's advertising some kind of fancy sandwich. You haven't had a call from Subway yet, have you? Give it a plug it at Subway.
Not that I know of. Yeah, not that.
But you are looking for a sponsor. Are you looking for? You are now that you're through. You are looking for a sponsor now, aren't you? Or a decent sponsor.
Well, yeah. I think yeah. I've always got my eye out for someone to give me a sponsor.
I mean, could it be another fast? No more fast food chains. Not doing any more fast food chains.
I've got to keep to this.
Let's come up with proper things. What would be? What do you think would work? What would you like? I mean, in Natasha Jonas as a fantasy sponsor, what would it be? Come on, mate, you're under pressure now.
I know I am, and these lights are.
And I lied. The lights are hot, and I told you we'll put you under pressure, and I'm putting you under pressure. Come, what would the ideal sponsor be? It could be a clothing firm. Come on, aim high, girl.
Anything, clothes, cars.
Easy, slow down.
I'm not fussy, but, like, I think jokingly, one would have to be like, I don't know, ice cream, because I love ice cream.
That'd be quite good.
Downfall is ice cream, so yeah.
Is it Ben and Jerry's your favourite? What's your favourite make?
I'm not even fussy any type of ice cream. It's always in my diet, and I make the nutritionist put it in my diet.
Put a little bit of ice cream in.
No matter what happens.
So you cut down somewhere else, as long as you get a bit of ice cream.
In, it's all right. So.
I know that I've spoken to you before about how you started boxing, but just tell me again, remind the viewers here on Box Nation, because this is your debut here, how you first got into the gym, how old you were, that type of stuff.
I was, in boxing terms, I was quite old, because I was 21 when I first went to the Rotunda, and it was just a way of keeping myself fit.
Were there many women in there? Sorry for interrupting. Were there many women in there at that time, Natasha? Were you one of the first through the doors there as such?
It was like the first female-only session. So,
okay.
The lady that started them, Sylvia Singleton, she said, "Oh, I was training in my uncle's karate gym by myself," and she said, "Instead of training here by yourself, I've just started women's only nights. Why don't you come along?" And I went along, and then the story starts there.
And it just went from there. Now, at what point did you start sparring with the men? At what point were you just getting a bit too good for the other women about your weight?
Well, when I first started, as I say, I was a lot heavier than I am. I was 70 odd kilos. So, like I was a lot heavier than most of the girls.
Most of the women. So you needed
anyway.
Yeah.
So, and I knew my way around the gym because like sure. I've done karate and I'd done a little bit of Thai boxing and stuff like years before. So, like I was quickly put in with the lads, and yeah, I had to learn to roll my own, didn't I?
Old drone from the very start.
From the start, yeah.
Now, what about when you go to Sheffield now? Because you're full time as such. You go to Sheffield. Was it Sunday through Thursday or whatever?
Monday to Thursday.
And you're mixed in with the men there, aren't you? Obviously. Now, that's an absolute full-time gig up there, isn't it? Training wise, sparring wise. But they bring in a lot of sparring partners. Like you have women coming from different countries.
Yeah. I mean, that's the good thing about being part of the GB setup. They've got the funding to bring other people in and bring other countries, and obviously fly us to other countries. I mean, this year we've been to Sweden, Brazil, China, Czech Republic, Stranja, Bulgaria. That's just this year. So
I'll be honest with you, there'll be people watching this, right? Boxing, even boxing fans, and they'll be going, "You're joking? What? She's been to all those countries? She's had 100 fights." Because it's really interesting because a lot of people don't quite understand that our elite athletes, Nicola, Savannah, and Tasha, they've been around for years. They've been fighting overseas 10, 15 times a year. They've been in all these tournaments. They've had 100, or Nicola's probably even had more bouts than you at international level.
Coming up to 150 maybe, Nicola. She had a lot.
It's not a new thing, is it? Are people now starting to not necessarily recognise you, because I know in Liverpool you'd be recognised, but are people now, when you tell people, when you're introduced at different functions and you tell them you're a boxer and you want to go to the Olympics, or now you can tell them I'm a boxer, I am going to the Olympics, is it still a look of sort of shock on their faces, or are they sort of a bit more understanding of the situation now?
You get a mixture. Obviously, people. The first question is, "Oh, you don't look like a boxer." And
is that what they tell you? People used to tell me the same thing. They really did. When I was about 15, they'd say, "You can't be a boxer. Those eyelashes and all that hair." I'd say, "I am. I'm sorry."
It's the same thing. I was like, I say, "Well, what does a boxer look like?" And they can't answer you because they don't want to say or whatever. But you get a mixture of stuff, and people do appreciate it more. And obviously, with it being an Olympic sport, people are more accepting because we've got the potential to be an Olympian, and I am made up that now. I can say you still have to go through the rigmarole of explaining to people, I've got to go to the qualifiers and I've got to reach here, and now I can just say, yeah, I'm in.
I'm going to the
yeah,
Olympics.
I'm going.
Yes, I'm in. And have you actually said that to anybody since you came home? I know you've only been off the plane 24 hours, but have you actually said to someone now, I'm going to the Olympics?
The people on the plane were like, "Oh, so what, are you in the Olympics?" And I just said, yeah. And when I sat down in my seat, I thought, oh, yeah, I'm going. And that was just a nice feeling, instead of having to say, "Oh, I've got to do this and I've got to do this and this has got to happen and yeah, this is good." And now I can just say, yeah.
Yes, you can. You can just say, Natasha Jonas can just say, "Yes, I'm going." What a delight to have you here. Thanks very much for coming in, Tash.
Nice one for having me. Thanks.
No, my pleasure.
Cheers.